This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone. Owen!
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change, and it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in the gun with Moore on his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life! It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up! Fighting! Navarro Bowman! And the 49ers silence the house.
Hey yo, cunts, we're back at you, motherfuckers. You know how we do this shit. Fucking episode dos. And we start off talking that shit about how we continually this season are picking motherfucking winners. I know I can speak for myself. I'm a winner this week. I extend my
what
lead.
your mom always told you?
No, my mother never gave me words of encouragement. She told me just to keep my head down and get by. My season record, I'm tied with my best buddo here, Rob. We are 8-2, and we're not looking back. Steve, you break it down for the people. I'm not.
It's all right. So Joe only cares about himself and Rob. He just could not be bothered. To give the results of the other 3 members of this podcast.
It's a lot of stuff to say.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to say. Steve and Chris are 7-3, and Kern is 6-4.
Here's what I'm gonna do next week on
Losers.
the injury report. I might get 40% of the way into it, and then just turn it over to you. If that's fair.
Then they'll probably only get like 60% of the total. So
All right, Rob and Joe won last week. They
That's
are on
right.
top, 8-2 for locks of the week picks. Myself and Chris are in second place, 7-3, 1 game behind, and Curran is 6-4, still not shabby, still making money. The winning picks last week were I had Pittsburgh +4 against the Rams. The Rams stink. Joe had Arizona +5.5 at Tampa. Good win on his part. And Rob had Baltimore -10 at Cincinnati.
Would they win by 100?
They won by 1 million.
As soon as I saw that, I went, yeah, okay.
Chris with the heartbreaker of the week. Chris had Buffalo +2.5. Buffalo lost by 3.
That's my game.
That's why.
Half
That's why the Thursday
fucking
spread.
point.
That's what I last week.
That's why the Thursday spread.
Yeah.
you can't fuck with Thursdays.
That's why.
Yeah.
Well, no, Buffalo Cleveland. That was 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
1 o'clock game.
Yeah, but Cleveland beat Buffalo.
Right.
That's why the Thursday spread.
Right.
They think Cleveland's better than they are because they had 1 good game.
Yeah, 1 game.
Yeah.
All right. Curran had Indy -11. Not only did they not cover, Miami beat Indy.
To be fair, when he made that pick,
He probably thought
he
Brissett
might
was
not
playing.
have known Hoyer was starting.
Yeah.
And by the way, that game is what won me Survivor.
I think it's fair to say that Miami, although everybody come to the conclusion that they're tanking, they're playing hard.
No, the players and coaches are not tanking.
Yeah.
The front office is tanking.
Yes.
It's clear.
We're gonna trade off any valuable asset we have, but we can't tell you to play bad.
That's very odd.
Yeah. Very strange.
I mean, It's one thing to trade away people that are aging or their contract year, but to trade away someone like Minkah Fitzpatrick, that's like a cornerstone that's going to be the cornerstone of Pittsburgh's defense for
no sense.
For the next 5 to 10 years. I guarantee it.
Their approach makes absolutely no sense, but the fact that they're playing hard, these misfit players are playing for their head coach the way they are, I think they might have something in Miami.
When they made that trade, we were like, why is Pittsburgh getting a guy when Pittsburgh isn't going anywhere?
They were 1-4.
It turned them into a fucking legitimate team.
Yeah, they're good. They're in the playoffs.
They're a playoff team.
They're in the playoffs right now.
How wild is that?
That's great.
And he's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
He is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Out of his mind.
Ridiculous.
Good
All right.
for him. Which is why I'm taking Pittsburgh +3 at Cleveland on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's a
plus
horny
3.
pick.
Cleveland is favored over the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. I know it's in Cleveland. I know it's on Thursday night, but
I'm taking it.
we have seen one club, a proud franchise with a winning tradition, still win despite losing their quarterback for the year. And then you have the other franchise who was the sexy, hot offseason topic, new quarterback, all these commercials. They got all these stars, and they're favored over the Pittsburgh Steelers when they've been nothing but terrible. I'm not taking that win over Buffalo seriously. I'm not taking Buffalo seriously.
Oh.
The Falcons beat the Saints. Nobody's taking that seriously.
Yeah,
It happens.
it happens. But how I love the irony of Baker Mayfield in an empty Cleveland stadium, just living there.
All right.
You've seen those commercials, right? Baker Mayfield in an empty Cleveland stadium.
No.
How ironic is that?
I haven't seen them.
You haven't?
No.
They're good.
Fuck it.
For the ironic wise, they're good.
Okay.
What's your lock of the week, Joe?
You just said to fuck them, but I'm taking the Bills.
I just said to fuck them.
Yeah. -6.
Ooh, you're making that mistake.
Who was that against?
Miami.
Dolphins, yeah.
In Miami or in Buffalo?
In Miami.
In Miami.
That's right. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I think the
Curran, just because he emailed it in, Curran take the Saints -5.5 at Tampa.
Okay. I really think that the foregone conclusion that Miami is the worst team in the league is dead.
That's not why I'm taking them.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, they're not
that's
the worst
why.
team in the league.
Well, after
the worst team in the league is either Cincinnati.
After 4 to 5 weeks,
We all agreed.
We all
100%.
like consensus.
No,
that's the worst team.
My bold prediction is that they weren't going to win a game this season.
Right.
And that was before they traded off Kenyon Drake
Right.
and Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Right.
I would say it's Cincinnati, the team from Washington, and the Jets. The Jets, by the way, are playing the team from Washington this week.
How did
Actually, an interesting game.
how did the Cowboys lose to the Jets?
I don't understand.
How did that happen?
How?
That's why they're going to sign Kaepernick.
Somebody's going to sign
That
them.
that right there.
0%.
No, I know what's going to happen.
Oh, here we go. Get ready.
No.
This is what all the teams have been waiting for. They were all been like, we want to sign him, but he didn't have a tryout.
No. Whatever happens with him on Saturday is going to get him at least one private workout with another team. That's my opinion.
He ain't signing.
Maybe he gets signed after that.
All right,
He hasn't played a live football game in how many years? No way.
Chris, your pick.
Baltimore hosting the Texans -4.
Baltimore -4.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that one.
Great game, but I wouldn't touch it.
Versus Houston?
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, my pick. I am riding this fucking train until the fucking cows come home. The Rams fucking stink. Chicago Bears +6.5 at LA.
Wow. That's a sketchy one.
Yeah. If it was in Chicago, I like that a little better.
Why? LA? They don't even. They don't.
Yeah, just the travel.
The Rams aren't going to the
It's
Super
just the
Bowl, so
logistics and bullshit.
LA doesn't. LA fans don't care. If you're not going to the Super Bowl, the championship, the whatever, the LA fans do not care.
By the way, for anyone that wants to talk anything about Kyle Shanahan not playing Richie James or his play calling at the end of the game, go watch the Rams and this mastermind Sean McVay, and then get back to me. Go watch Sean McVay, the mastermind that puts Blake Bortles in at quarterback and has a reason for it. has an actual reason that he thinks justifies playing a down with Blake Bortles on the field instead of Jared Goff?
You know what's almost as fulfilling as the 49ers being good this year is?
The Rams sucking dick.
Sean McVay, genius boy.
Yeah.
Getting
Prodigy.
exposed.
I thought that was the start of a new read.
At the end of a week.
Do you know what's as fulfilling?
Should have been. All right, mystery quote.
Yeah, he can eat it.
Now, this week, I have a live mystery quote.
Whoa!
I won't be reading it. The player himself
Whoa!
is actually... He's coming down the stairs into my basement.
So we have to close our eyes if it's mystery then?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we put our tongues out and
All
see
right,
if we can
hold
guess
on,
by
let me
the
pull
shape
this
of his
up.
cock?
Oh, jeez.
No, the taste of his piss.
Okay, everybody ready? I don't know how loud my phone's going to get.
I got it.
Well, before we even start this whole thing, my penalties are a problem. I am 100% an issue with that. It's not intentional. I do not mean to do it. My intentions are good. I'm just trying to finish. And it's killing the team. And I know that. You guys need to know that. No one needs to call me out or anything because I got it, boys. I am completely screwing the team with the amount of penalties I've had in these last, 6 games? It's crazy. It's horrible. I cannot get penalties. I'm sorry. There's no need to ask about it because I know I'm an absolute liability when it comes to penalties.
I saw that went viral, but I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
Sounds like a white guy.
Definitely a white guy.
Offensive lineman?
No.
Definitely an offensive lineman.
Oh, really? Sounded
Yep.
like a defensive lineman because he said finishing.
Definitely an offensive lineman. It's a hard one because, I mean, who the hell really knows offensive players or offensive linemen for other
I'm
teams?
an absolute liability.
Yeah. You just want the answer?
Was he from the
I
Patriots?
guess it.
That was Taylor Lewan of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
He has had five false starts.
He's a Hall of Fame penalizer.
Yeah.
He's had 5 in the last 6 games. He's had 5 false
Holy
starts
shit.
and 4 holding calls. Accounted for 89 yards. Just himself.
And the fact that I know his name when you say it means he's decent.
He was a high
Because
draft
I don't know.
pick. He's
I don't know offensive lineman
he's a-
names.
I don't
if
know.
I've heard the name
Yeah.
before, they're at least
Yeah.
upper half.
Yeah,
You know?
he has a pedigree. Yeah. No.
I got one for you.
Perfect.
This is a head coach in the NFL. When asked if his team was sending representatives to Colin Kaepernick's workout,
This was a head coach.
Yep.
Okay.
I would guess, but that's not something I've asked them yet.
Shanahan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which proves, without a doubt, exactly what I said. Every team's going to send somebody because we have absolutely no reason to send someone to see that workout.
No.
We have 3 quarterbacks. He's never going to be on our team. But even Shanahan said, well, I would assume we're sending someone. Of course you go.
Yeah.
Seems like the
And
thing
they
to do.
actually set him up to say no. The question really guided him. They were trying to shit on the NFL, the question.
Yep.
Because the question was like, do you think it's logical to have a Saturday workout with this short of notice when most of your scouts are out watching college games on a Saturday?
Uh-huh.
And Shanahan was like, well, I mean, it's not that difficult to get someone there. I would assume that everyone's going to have someone there. Like, he basically told the reporter, like, yeah, no, it's not that hard to get a fucking scout to Atlanta.
Right.
You know, like, relax.
Right.
So,
And if a team is that interested, they'll get somebody.
I don't think, no, that's the point. They're not interested at all, and they're
Yeah.
going to get someone there. I don't think, I mean, it's the NFL. You have hundreds of scouts that work for your team, I
Yeah.
would assume. It's not like 3 guys, like, all right, this week you got to go watch.
Yeah.
It's got to be hundreds, I would assume.
No, it isn't hundreds. It's more or less like 20.
If you can't get one of, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Even just because, what if Kyler Murray gets hurt in practice tomorrow, and they sign? Like, you gotta go.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
All right. We are looking ahead to Arizona, this time at Levi Stadium. Last time we faced them wasn't long ago. Thursday night, Halloween. Jimmy G had himself a night. The defense didn't play up to par. And with that, you end up with a 27-24. I was that same score, right? We beat we beat Arizona 27-24.
No, I think it was like 1 point off. It was
It was
28-25.
28-25. Okay. Yeah, with that, you end up with only a 3-point win in what looked on early on in that first Arizona game looked like it was going to be a blowout. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do different this time? You have a team that just went to fucking war and lost.
I think this game is going to tell us if this team is headed for greatness or not.
I agree.
The response to a loss is what's going to tell us.
Not just any loss, that loss.
Well, and also the way the defense responded to a shitty game against Arizona was to put on a fucking clinic against Seattle.
Yeah.
I think this is the very first time since we've been a podcast that we're seeing a real home field advantage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was start to finish.
And
at the end of overtime, that crowd was packed full and just as loud as they were.
I don't know if you've heard
the whole
anything,
game.
but I've been hearing some things, social media, whatnot, saying that this stadium this year is a different place, and there is a defined home field advantage, and it's rocking the way Candlestick, it's rocking in a way that 49ers home field hasn't for many, many years now. So,
yeah, I think the defense was embarrassed that Arizona was even in that game.
Yep.
I think that's what turned out this performance.
Yep.
I think they're looking to make a statement. I think sacking Russell Wilson 5 times is an idea of what they plan on doing to Kyler Murray. I think what they faced in Kyler Murray also helped them prepare for Russell Wilson, which is going to help them prepare for Kyler Murray again.
And then prepare for Russell Wilson again.
But I also think the key to victory on this is Marquise Goodwin.
The key to victory is Marquise Goodwin.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I think we know what we're getting. I think we know what we're getting on Debo.
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to play lights out. I think we just need to score some points, and I don't know who else is going to score them.
All right.
You want to go? Baba Louie?
I will say I'm a little nervous about how the defense is going to respond this week after losing some players, after going to war like that and losing.
Short turnaround.
It's absolutely impossible not to feel a little bit demoralized after that. And they laid everything out on the line, their bodies, their fucking hearts, their souls. They laid everything out there. They would have fucking cut their arm off to win that fucking game, and they didn't. And that's what I'm a little bit nervous about is the defense coming out a little flat. But like you said, I think that if they respond the way that I think that they are capable of responding, it's going to tell us if this team is destined for greatness. The key to victory this week is not getting too down over a loss in Week 10. That's all it is.
Normally, having a team back separated by one game, like we play Arizona twice in 3 weeks. Normally, I think that could be a harm, but in this case, if we were coming off of them laying everything out on the line to play someone else, I think it could be worse for us. But the fact that we're playing an Arizona team that they were embarrassed the way they played just recently, I think keeps that fire lit. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope.
There's logic to that.
If let's say we had this Seattle game before we played Arizona the first time, we would have lost Arizona, I think, because we would have underestimated them.
But now they know they can't underestimate them, and
Plus,
they
they want to make up.
Right, agreed, yeah.
I hope.
I think it actually does kind of work out the way it all pans out. So my key to victory...
Did Arizona win last weekend?
No, it was a close one.
Tampa won by 3?
Yeah, by 3. Because I was watching the end of it because I had them, they obviously...
Arizona's a weird team, man.
They're good. They're a good team.
I definitely saw them as a cellar dweller this year. They are definitely not cellar dwellers.
Yeah, no, they're going to end up nearly fucking 500, and,
how crazy is this division?
They might end up beating the Rams in the division.
Oh, the Rams stink.
Yeah. My key to victory is... the wide receiver unit as a whole has to get it together. And I think it might be time to put Dante Pettis and maybe even Kendrick Bourne to slide those two twats right down to the bottom and move Richie James up a notch. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. The shots that those guys were getting, let's give them to Richie James. And, hopefully we get...
How could it possibly be worse?
Why was Pettis back to receive? Did you see that?
On one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
Weird,
the
right?
one where he pretended that he was going to catch it, but the ball was way
it was
into
a
the
great
end zone.
play. It
Yeah,
worked.
it was nice.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what determines which returner's out there for what, but they do switch them up.
And the Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah,
You wanna talk
yeah,
about that?
yeah. The we're punting the ball. Marquise Goodwin is lined up way back next to the punter, and everybody in the world, in the country, is thinking, okay, this is a fake punt. But no, it's not a fake punt. Marquise Goodwin just runs fast enough to be able to keep up with the ball.
So
To
it's
get
the
there.
second time we've done it.
I don't remember the first time.
It was last year, I believe.
Okay.
Or maybe 17. And the theory is it guarantees a fair catch. It guarantees no return.
Yep.
Because Goodwin is going to get there before you catch the ball, and you're going to have to call a fair catch.
Yeah.
Now, in this one, Mostert fucked it up because he interfered. But if you saw, Goodwin did get there right on time with the ball.
Yep.
The idea is if you don't want a return and you're worried about a return, it guarantees no return because Goodwin is going to get there and cause you to fair catch.
But why
and
do
Goodwin's
they need him to
explanation
line up
is
there?
Goodwin's explanation is either it's going to be a fair catch or I'm to take his head off
Yeah. Yep.
Why do they need him to line up there, though?
because he gets a running start.
The timing, and he's not going to get jammed. He has 10 yards.
He hits
of,
that line at full sprint speed when the ball gets kicked.
Yeah.
It was. If you watch the play, he's like fucking 10 yards ahead of everyone.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a testament to this coaching staff and being innovative and thinking outside the box.
I'll tell you another thing. So Shanahan says that that was, I forget his name, Hightower. That was his idea. But now that happened, the next time he's back there, it could be a fake.
Yeah.
And that's what Shanahan does. He shows you the same look and does something completely different out of the same look.
These past 2 Sundays of watching Red Zone, I have said it numerous times because I've seen it at least a handful of times in both weeks. Fake punts work in this league consistently. And I would love for somebody with more time than me to look up the statistics of success rates on fake punts over the last 3 years.
Depends what kind of fake.
I guarantee you the success rates are through the roof, probably like around 80% success rate. I think that there is gold to be mined there.
Shanahan's a chess player, not a checkers player.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you see this formation at least once more in the regular season, and don't be surprised if there's a fake punt from this formation in the postseason.
Yeah.
Do you want an actual number?
Look at that. Chris is on it.
Wow.
So this, not in the last 3 years, this is from 2016, so maybe things were different, but it was 45%.
45% success rate in 2016. I really want something more recent than that, if you can.
While he's looking, have you seen the Ron Rivera controversy with going for 2 when you're down 14 or when you're...
Yes. So
the math adds up.
So he was down. They had scored a touchdown, and then they were still down 14 even after
No,
scoring
they
that
were
touchdown.
down 14.
They were down 14.
And he scored a touchdown.
Yep.
And he went for 2.
Yep.
And everyone went fucking nuts.
So that way, instead of being down by
7.
So here's the theory. If you do the math, 2-point conversions are 50%.
Uh-huh.
So if you got to score 2 touchdowns and you go for 2 both times, you should get it on one of the 2 and tie the game.
Uh-huh.
But extra points are like 70-something, almost 80%.
Yep.
So you go for 2 on the first one. If you don't get it, in theory, you should get it on the second one if it's 50%,
Uh-huh.
and it's a tie game, like it would have been if you kicked the 2 extra points.
Uh-huh.
But if you do get the 2-point conversion on the first one, now you've got almost 80% to kick the extra point to win the game rather than to tie the game.
Makes sense.
It makes sense with numbers, and
Yeah.
it never got to that point to find out if it made sense.
Right.
But he stuck his ground. If you read the numbers, it's there.
Makes sense.
It adds up. It's pretty interesting.
If he hit, yeah.
It makes you think you should be going for 2 every time
Yeah.
if it's 50%.
I felt that way for a while, Like,
Pittsburgh did it for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, we didn't really talk about it, but what did you guys think about, what was it, overtime? No, it was overtime. Raheem Mostert came up a bad spot, came up just short. It was 4th and inches, and then our kicker had that horribly missed kick. What do you think of not going for a QB sneak there?
Yeah, it's a good call.
Just maybe get a few more yards for the new kicker.
I don't think a few yards. He showed he can hit from that distance.
Yeah. That thing could have been from 10 yards. That was not going through the
I think it was
uprights.
the moment more than the distance.
No, I disagree with that.
You know what was even more strange? So, Pete Carroll has a 4th down. 4th and 2, I think it was. Right? He sends his offense out on the field. Then he calls a timeout. And then he kicks the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why on earth, if you're on the fence and you're going to take the timeout, don't you try to draw us off sides?
Right.
When they went to line up, I went, they're not doing this. This is to draw us off sides.
Yes.
In my head, I'm going, don't fucking move. And I have flashbacks. What year was that? Oh, my God. Where we were all yelling, don't move, and he fucking moved.
Solomon Thomas,
Oh, my
week
God.
1 against Minnesota.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks. I'm
In
literally
2018.
going, somebody's
Yeah.
going to fucking jump. Somebody's going to... And then he calls timeout. I'm like, why wouldn't you hard count us?
Right.
And I've always thought about, like, if you're trying to do that, to rush up to the line.
Yep.
Because then you get everybody jittery.
Oh, I forgot about this. Weston Richburg, injured, hurts his hand, leaves the game. Injury timeout. They don't stop the clock.
Yeah, that was weird.
We're forced to burn
Yeah.
a timeout because you didn't stop the fucking clock for an injury? Fuck that shit.
And then later in the
Yeah, it
game,
was wacky.
and then later in the game, later in the game, Seattle went down in bounds, and the clock should have kept running, but they stopped it in Seattle's favor.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
And I don't know why. It was a weird thing. Very. What the fuck do I know?
How about the Eric Armstead? They called him down. He had Russell Wilson wrapped up like a pretzel, and Wilson escaped.
Yeah, that.
But
was
they called him
weird.
down. I'm
That
like,
was very
ooh,
weird.
that's a bad call, but
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
here's the
take
thing,
it,
though.
but
If,
that was
it-
a bad
if you
call.
don't whistle that dead and someone takes his head off, then you're going to eat it for not whistling it dead because he wasn't moving forward.
Right.
It's like one of those... yeah, it was definitely one where if it went the other way, we'd be fucking losing our mind.
Yeah.
I didn't when they
They're just bad. They're just bad
right
at reffing.
when the whole thing was whistled dead. I was like, what is going on? I thought we were in trouble. I thought it was a penalty on us at first. I was kind of confused.
This is
Yeah.
one more thing that I want to address is for anybody out there that is comparing Russell Wilson to Jimmy Garoppolo, just stop.
Yeah.
Russell
apples to
Wilson
oranges.
is an 8-year veteran, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, probably a Hall of Famer. His record in the playoffs is 8-5. Jimmy Garoppolo has less than 20 career starts, 0 playoff experience. A high-intensity game like that, Russell Wilson, how many of those types of games has Russell Wilson played in? 12? 15?
Steve.
How many games high-intensity has Jimmy Garoppolo played in like that?
Steve.
just watched a bunch.
1.
Who's got more rings, Steve?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Fucking dead heathen, buddy.
Good point.
No,
Very good point.
no, actually, Garoppolo has more.
Yeah.
Did he get more than one?
Yeah, he's got 2.
Oh, that's even better.
Does he have 2?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, hey, how funny would at the end of careers, if guys have really good careers but they didn't make it, they're like, yeah, but he never got that. Jimmy's already got 2 rings.
You should just retire now. Fuck it, I got 2.
How fucking funny is that?
At the end of a hard week, it's great to sit down, take your rings off, take some time off, and watch some football. Game-winning touchdowns on 2-minute drives. Running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them. There's nothing else like the NFL, and there's no better way to make the games even more exciting than to bet on them.
Do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag. No one gives you more ways to win than they do. MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any sports book, any other sports.
Don't you forget, you motherfucker. Where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on, and mybookie.ag is the best in the business. It's where we play, and it's where you should too.
Core talking points.
I wouldn't be telling you guys to bet with them if they weren't the best. Do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this football season, bet with my bookie.
If you're the kind of guy, that kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot,
Would you classify betting $40 and winning $440 as that guy?
I would say
Yeah.
so.
That's what I did.
yep. So you should definitely try parlay if you're that kind of guy. And if all your picks come through, you'll multiply your winnings. And no matter how you bet, The NFL season is the best time of the year.
That's right.
Join now. MyBookie will double your first deposit. Use promo code
Gold blood.
to activate the offer. That's promo code.
Gold blood.
Visit mybookie.ag today. You play.
You win.
You get paid.
Predictions. Curran sent his in. He says the San Francisco football 49ers will win. A not close contest, 32-10.
Can I go next?
Sure.
I want to go with the same exact score from last week, 32-22.
I don't think there's any way that this defense lets Arizona get into double digits. I think they're going to kick, scream, claw, murder, pillage, rape maybe even, to make sure that this team does not go into double digits.
Raping.
If you recall, there was a time where we were so low that I said I would take a rapist on this team if he could fucking play. Do you recall that?
I do. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget.
We were that desperate to be good that I said we would take.
No, you.
I was that desperate.
Thank you.
That I would allow a rapist.
Joe was desperate enough to say he'd drink a cup of piss.
No, a cup of piss is one thing. I'm not siding with a rapist.
People,
That's fucked up.
People get bent out of shape over a fucking loss. Remember where we came from, motherfuckers.
That's you, son.
I'm going to go with 24-3 victory. I think 7 of those points at least will be on the defense as well.
24-3 victory?
That's hot.
That's hot, boys.
I think at least 7 of those 24 points will be from our defense as well.
Chris?
I'm going to go 18-6. Niners.
Okay. What do you got?
Steven?
I'm very conflicted here.
All right. What do you want to pick a loss?
He hinted at a shutout.
Honestly,
Probably for Arizona.
I don't have a slightest clue of what's going to happen in this game and how this team's going to respond, but I cannot wait to watch.
No.
And my score prediction is 34.
Ooh.
17. Niners.
Okay. So before we slang a shoe,
I think the run game returns this week. I think after not being able to run the ball that well after 2 weeks, I think we start running the ball better this week. I know Breda's going to be out, but I think
Mostert looked good at the end of the game.
I
Could be
think
just
that
fresh
we're
legs,
gonna
but
start getting that locomotive going
I
again
think
because
Mozart is good.
it's been tough.
Wilson will be active again.
It's been tough sledding 2 games in a row.
Okay.
There's a possibility we roll into this game with only 45 active. Because we're not releasing most of those people that are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Wow.
getting through waivers.
That'd be so sketchy.
There's a very good chance that we play this game with 4. I think really what all that depends on if we go with 45 is what happens with Robbie Gould.
And Kittle, of course.
I think Kittle's probably out, but yes. But I think Robbie Gould is probably the point of
They can always-
what happens here.
They can always put Kittle in a uniform. You
And
know?
Sanders is on the fence too, day to day.
Yeah. If they're all hurt,
Yeah.
ain't gonna be pretty.
All right.
Okay. So
Shoes.
no. Before we get into Shoe Slinger, I got a quick little story I want to tell that my wife will get mad at. But this is why you people tune into the Gold Blooded Podcast, because we deliver these nuggets to you on a week-to-week basis. So this past a week or two, my boss, this electrical contractor, he had me moving our storage from one like a storage, like a Cube Smart type of place. Like what would you call that, Rob? Like self-storage to a commercial lot where one of our customers has a bunch of storage containers. Like what would you call those? Yeah, but like big industrial storage containers, 60 foot long.
Like a shipping container?
Correct. It's exactly what it is. So I'm making delivery after truckload full of electrical material. And I realized that the location where it's ending up is like a half mile from my wife's office. So I give her a ring-a-ding-ding, and I say, hey, why don't you come over to this more or less dumpster with a roof for some afternoon romance? And she skedaddled over there, and on this particular afternoon, she was dressed business casual, so she had a skirt on. So she came over to the dumpster and lifted the skirt up, and I went in.
Brown?
No, you piece of shit. You scumbag. I went in.
No, he meant brown panties.
Brown panties.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they were pink. I pulled
Yeah,
them.
who's the scumbag now?
I thought he meant the brown
Yeah,
eyes.
so who's the scumbag?
I guess. What? I pulled the panties down.
The brown panties.
They were not brown. They were pink.
Brown
on this
panties.
particular afternoon. She had her hands on a pile of wire here and like some fucking recess light box over here, and I was entered from the backside.
Did you steady Freddy it?
Just so to be clear, when you say this sentence, I was entered from the backside. It's not what that means, Joe.
I know. All right.
What
sorry.
you're trying to tell us is not what you
All
said.
right. Let me rephrase that. I was in the doggy style.
You could have just said
position.
I entered from the backside, not I was entered.
And then you just said I was in the doggy style position.
Yeah,
like you're all fucked up.
Keep digging.
Yeah.
Maybe he was.
Yeah, so-
maybe what really happened
there
is
was-
what he's saying,
there
but
was
he's
no-
trying to.
The sledgehammer is what got his finger, Steve.
Yeah.
Does Joe take it backside?
There was no butthole. Either person. Oh, but I did lick her butthole. I don't want to give all the details away, but
Too late.
it was a nice time. It was an afternoon delight, and we call it our dirty dumpster sex. She'd be so pissed.
So now she would be down for dirty dumpster sex, but pissing in your mouth just out of the question.
Saying though. Nothing I can do about it, bud. But there is something you people could do about it. www.patreon.com/goldbutted podcast, because at this point,
Let's
paying
get,
her is going to be the only way she's going to piss in my mouth.
let's get Daddy and Baby a new dumpster.
That's right. Let's make my mouth a dumpster for her urine. Let's do it.
All right.
Shoe sling.
This week's
Do I
nominees
have to
are.
shoe sling?
It's not easy when we've just done it 2 weeks ago, by the
Yep.
way.
Terrell Suggs,
Oh,
Brooks Reed, who I don't know who
Terrell
that is.
Suggs is so great.
Yeah, Terrell Suggs, that's a good one. And J.R. Sweezy. Only one I know is Terrell Suggs. So, the big reveal. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong there. T-Sizzle.
I like Terrell Suggs too because he's not our normal.
Yep. Yep.
Emma.
black.
Yep. It's okay, Rob. You could just say it. J.R. Sweezy. All right, this is Brooks Reed. Yeah, it fits the narrative.
Did you?
I did in Arizona.
I don't know, I had some better ones. Did
You
try
said
it
you had
without-
a. You
just as
said that
Brooks
you
Reed?
had a guaranteed one a few weeks on the when
this
we
it?
played Arizona.
I think it was Seattle. I said that.
Oh,
I think because I thought that too. When I looked through, I couldn't find anything.
All right, let's see J.R. Sweezy. Okay. Or maybe we won't. Oh. Oh.
He says,
I mean, yes. J.R. Sweezy. Not close.
"Who used to be a Seahawk?"
Yep. Yeah, not close. It's J.R. Sweezy. J.R. Sweezy time.
is he white?
I guess you're
You'll
going to have
see.
to wait and find out.
Tell me when I could look.
I mean, I think we're all decided.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a slam dunk. Go for it.
Oh. All right. Well, he looks like a younger, cheaper.
Sex and dumpsters.
He looks like he gets entered in dumpsters.
He looks like Danny McBride, a younger version of Danny McBride.
He definitely looks like a character from the Police Academy movies.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
Andy played.
Also
for,
looks like a serial killer.
Yes. Yeah.
Andy played for Seattle, which just is
All right.
another.
Where is the? There it is. Bottom left.
Heroin eyes.
Hold on. Yes, he definitely has.
Right there.
Hold on. I'm not done looking at his
Oh,
wife's tits.
you're gonna like
Slow
this one better.
down. Slow down.
I mean, kind of serial killer, but it's also kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm tough.
But it's also kind of like that's going to be the picture that they're going to put on the cover of the New York Post after he shoots up the like locker room. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
That guy does a lot of damage in a System of a Down push mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yes.
He pushes
For
over,
sure.
yeah, he pushes over all the other jocks. Could you go back to the wife wedding picture?
Why don't you just put in J.R. Sweezy wife?
Yeah. I mean,
get
go
right
right to
to
the
it.
No, I
source.
want to look at that picture.
Maybe we'll get a better one.
Oh my God.
You want to look at her tits? Maybe there's better ones.
You don't know what he wants. That's the point. There might be something else he's trying to
I
get
just
us.
want to look at that picture for 1 second.
You know her?
No, it's very her right nipple and
Yeah, it's like a push-up situation.
Right.
There's nothing there.
it's sketchy
It's all
though.
it's all smoke and mirrors.
She's
Yeah.
for such a a wannabe class act.
That's a smoke and mirrors picture.
Yeah, that's all she is smoke and mirrors. I
Good
bet
look-
she.
good looking head though.
I bet she wouldn't do it in a dumpster.
I'll bet she would, but not with him.
Not with him.
Oh wait, go back up.
How many times
Up,
has?
up.
Let me
Nope,
a-
too far.
How many?
Right there.
How many black eyes has she concealed?
I mean,
Black
he
eyes
looks.
or guys?
He
Eyes.
looks like he just rigged it a little bit. I mean, this guy has serial killer,
No,
dumpster sex.
He's an opiate guy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sunken
I could
eyes.
see that.
Yeah. What's this? Tampa? Where's that?
That's Tampa.
Yeah, and notice he still doesn't
That was
have.
Texas, no?
No, only Tampa has fucking
That was college.
digital numbers like it's on a fucking alarm clock.
Okay.
I think that was college,
I didn't
right?
know. I asked. That's why.
Is that
I
what you're talking?
asked.
The last picture?
No, yeah, that was Tampa.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100% sure.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Is there anything worse in the world than Tampa Bay Buccaneers jerseys, uniforms? I mean, they
It
are
used to be
just
so cool too.
No,
Like,
I don't-
Way back.
The orange ones. You
Yeah,
probably
just
don't
'cause they were
remember the
shitty and
orange
because it was like a
ones,
pirate
You
thing,
remember
like-
when they were orange?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I don't think that the Buccaneers have ever had a good uniform.
How do you not? Like you're the only team that has a fucking pirate flag. and
Right?
You have shitty fucking merch.
And I'll say this,
like what the fuck?
like a few years ago, they made the pirate flag on the helmet the entire like massive.
Yeah.
And it looks like dog shit.
It's weird
It's
to
really
me.
strange. Like the Raiders, no matter what, will always have a cool logo.
Yes.
Back,
Like how do you fuck that up if you're Tampa Bay?
back
Yeah, I
to
don't know.
J.R. Sweezy. How does he go from having alien HGH head and hair to then having like
Yo, that
like
is
curly haired what the
Pretty good
fuck?
change.
that is
Yeah.
fucking that's before kids and after kids.
That's
Well,
HGH.
I mean, not for nothing, but you have a braided long hair right now.
Yeah.
So most people that knew you from 5 years ago would probably go, "What the fuck?"
Okay. Fair enough. Argument one. All right.
Moving on to emails.
Yeah.
There's someone missing from these emails.
Duffy.
Really? I haven't even glanced.
Not the number one. Number one's there.
Just Joe.
Yeah.
He might have just. He might
What's
have
going
driven,
on?
He might have driven his van right off the fucking.
And did
I-5.
we even have one last week?
Yeah, we did. We did. And I'll tell you this. I think that Just Joe maybe freaking out a little bit over the one loss. Didn't want to call in with so many negativity and no negative vibes. So you know what? I'd rather him not with the negativity.
All right.
I think he's the kind of guy that not only likes to bet a little to win a lot, but he's also the kind of guy that a little overreaction one way or the other when something happens.
Steve, the particulars.
The particulars are, number one, give us your fucking money.
Ah!
Patreon.com/Goldblooded Podcast. Particular number two, email us, goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram account, Goldblooded Podcast, no underscores. Current is hot. And you guys saw the Instagram post of a fan at the game holding up a sign that said, all right, can I get a puppy cunts?
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Whoever
did you go
that
to that
was.
account?
I did, and
That was
it
the
lo-
only picture.
they made an
Weird, right?
Instagram account just to make that post, which
More
makes me
shit like
love it
that.
even more.
Did Kern post that to our?
But is that because
Yeah.
they don't have an Instagram or they were embarrassed
I think it's
to
because
put on their Instagram?
Oh, good point.
They don't want to be associated with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
like if that was your
nevertheless,
wife, if she put, she's like, I'm gonna
more
go make
shit
it.
like that, people. If you're
Yeah.
at a game or whatever, take pictures, write the Gold Blooded Podcast down, tell people to go fuck themselves.
I'm
you
still
know.
waiting for Jimmy Horsecock signs or Earthworm Jim.
Or just a picture of your cock out in public.
Yeah, your cock out. Maybe not out in public. That doesn't really resonate with me. But maybe at Levi's Stadium or something. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Just cock.
All right. First up
You
is
did all the particulars.
JD.
Yeah.
The first one's Matterson, right?
Pretty
From-
sure it's
from
JD.
Every single week we start these emails, and every single week we're all on a different page as to what the first email was.
Well, I send the podcast email every time we podcast, so it should be the first one after that, I would think. Call me crazy. Right?
I don't have that JD one.
I emailed
Oh.
November 3rd.
JD Fisher is the fourth.
Curran sent his picks the 3rd.
Oh, I fucked up because I had the date wrong. I forgot that we recorded last Sunday. That's my bad. I went by Sunday. I was going by Wednesday.
Just go by the
bad.
when I send the podcast.
Yeah. My bad, motherfuckers. All right. J.D. Fisher chimes in and says, Jimmy G nickname. What's up, crew? As good as Earthworm Jim and Jimmy Horsecock are, I was thinking about other potential nicknames inspired by classics like Karl Malone, the mailman, because he always delivers. I came up with something halfway decent. Jimmy G, the evangelist. He always converts. That's all I got, JD. I mean, it's good. I like that you did that, but I can't see anybody ever
All right,
really calling
I got a
him
couple things to say.
that. Okay.
First of all,
I'll let you address that.
subtly, he's calling out our nicknames.
A little bit. Yeah.
He's got one better.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think that's a great nickname if you're, say, ESPN
Yeah.
or CBS or Fox Sports
Or any other basic
or
ass Niners
anyone that
podcast.
doesn't think Jimmy Horsecock is the best fucking nickname you could possibly give him. I mean, come on. Jimmy the Evangelist or Jimmy Horsecock?
I'm going.
Go ahead, have your choice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is unanimous.
I
There's
think with this audience,
I don't even need to count the votes.
No.
I think with any.
But you might be able to sell that to ESPN.
And we wish you luck.
Good luck.
All right. Now to the voice of the San Francisco Football 49ers, Matt Matterson. The title, Wordy Matterson #2.
Where's number one?
I want to chime in with some opinions after listening to episodes 217 and 218. 1. I'm actually impressed with Joe when he brought up some stats.
Actually, it's like a surprise.
Because I'm a scumbag.
Subtle.
Stats that Steve didn't have.
Ooh.
I'm talking about the team's third down conversions. You didn't know about me, Steve. I got them stats. 2. I'm hopeful that the Niners get 11-0 after beating the Packers, Rob. It's directed at you, dog.
Me too, Matterson. Me too.
Well, I also hope that.
Gold getting a quad
Me too,
injury. Hold on. We have to. Gold getting a quad injury is not good. I expect him going out for 4 or 5 games. And that's it. He doesn't end with the
That
goodbye.
was Wordy Matterson #2.
All right.
All right, that was interesting. Thank you, Matthew.
Barrett.
Oh, yeah. Bart Mueller says we're allergic to catching balls. I want Kendrick Bourne's great value, Kevin Gates looking ass off the fucking team now. Pettis is more concerned with his hair, his cats, and the Astros than to be a consistent weapon. Act his ass too. I've been a staunch Marquise Goodwin supporter, but no longer. He's not an effective receiver. Clowney made Staley look as old and slow as he just might be. I still, however, believe we were the better team regardless of what the final says. Go Niners. I'm going to let Steve reply to that.
Yeah. You know, wouldn't that be very unfortunate that Joe Staley is here for an era that was very bad, an era that was very good, an era that was very bad again, and now an era that's getting good again, and just as it's getting good again, he just can't go anymore.
Well,
I'm not there yet, but I will say that I'm glad the way Justin School played.
Oh, yeah.
That might be our next
Oh, yeah.
guy.
Yep. Feel a lot safer now.
Right?
Feel a lot better.
Right?
Matt Matterson's coming back. No subject, but the title of the audio is Problems with the Loss.
There's the first loss of the season, and I'm going to repeat myself here again because the only way I see the Niners defeating the Seahawks next month and Arizona next week is the defense getting, well, they gotta stop the QB from making plays with his legs. Pin them in the pocket. Keep them in the pocket. Don't make them scramble. That was one of the mistakes I see in this game, and that's why Seahawks won, because of Wilson Kyler Murray has that same ability. We've seen it. Another mistake was Clowney. He's a scary guy, but we cannot overlook that Joe Staley and McGlinchey came back after missing several games with injuries. But still, hopefully they learn from this game, really try to find a way to stop Clowney in the next game and stuff, all that. And then, yeah, hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo won't be afraid of some of the defensive players coming in after him. Offensive Beast of the Week, I'm going to give it to Kendrick Bourne. Defensive Beast of the Week goes to DeForest Buckner. After that touchdown, that was impressive. Knocking the ball twice out of two different Seahawk players. That was good. Shout out to Tart, Jet Ski Pop Tart for knocking the ball out of MetLife's arms before he made the touchdown. Kudos to every player sacking Russell Wilson. That said, I put the rest of the blame on the rookie kicker because of that missed field goal in overtime. That said, Niners 21, Cardinals 17. I am out, really.
Thank you, Matt. Oh.
Well, all right.
21-17?
No.
MetLife?
MetLife. That's right. MetLife Cat.
Logan
Reinerson, Levi's Stadium. Sup, pups? Well, that was a roller coaster of a game. I could see the roller coasters of great America from our seats. Had a bird's eye view of Greenlaw's OT pick. That play and D-Bucks TD were the most raucous moments of the night. I'd say that Niner fans outnumbered Sea Chicks fans about 5-1. Fuck, they're annoying. If I was to Tuesday morning quarterback this thing, I'd say that once Sanders left the game, Jimmy got scared. I completely agree with this statement. Couldn't seem to find balance. He was either overconfident in the pocket or not playing hot potato, or playing hot potato. I saw a video while leaving the stadium of Pettis practicing his trick dunking on the goalpost before the game. I think he should spend the rest of the week standing in front of a ball machine that's turned up to 11, practicing his catching. I feel bad for our substitute place kicker. He shouldn't have been in that position. I'm glad I went. It was a blast. My voice is gone. We're still number 1 in the NFC. Fuck the Seahawks.
That's where I saw about Pettis.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon this earlier.
You have, I mean, I would have traded places with anybody, even going into it, knowing it was going to be a loss, I would have traded places with you in a heartbeat to be at that game. What a pleasure.
What a pleasure, Steven says. The next email is from a man named Fernando Texera. Week 10, big balls deflated in a bad way. Been listening to you clowns forever. The Gold-Blooded podcast kept me sane during the shit years. Much appreciation. I was at the game and the energy was crazy. Quite a few Sea Crow fans, but the faithful were representing. Tough loss that was likely to come at some point. Sucks that it was Russell Wilson and in our house on Monday night. We need to get our guys back healthy. Staley and McGlinchey need to get back into the flow. Defensive beast of the week. Fred Warner. The guy was everywhere. The forced fumble was epic. Love that guy. Offensive beast of the week. Chase McLaughlin. Wow, we both have the same guy. Chase McLaughlin. How do you say that? McLaughlin? McLaughlin. So it's special teams. So what? It still counts. Rookie kicker that came in and kept us in the game. That's the bottom line. Yes, he missed a potential game winner, but we wouldn't have been in that position without the earlier kicks. This guy basically walked into the locker room 3 days before the game. Respect. Asshole of the week. Our receivers. Fuck. The drops killed us. We need Kittle back. Now! Emmanuel Sanders leaving with the injury didn't help. Now for serious business. I recommend you guys make some toilet seat covers with Chris's face.
Well, that came out of nowhere.
There's better faces.
It gets better. He's gonna explain.
Will sell like hotcakes. Based on his pension
Yep.
for analingus, he admitted to it back in 2016 or so. Now his giddiness for full back of the throat golden showers. Oh, does he have us mixed up?
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
This is me.
Chris's
I remember saying
face
all this.
will be the perfect addition to any bathroom toilet decor. I'll take a 25% cut of the proceeds. You're welcome. From Santa Clara, home of the San Francisco.
Football.
I fucked up. Home of the San Francisco Football 49ers, SC Fred.
Well,
So,
listen,
wait.
as a guy that's been listening to us forever, thank you.
Can I get a refresher?
Yeah, no, I said every word of that. Remember? Remember how I said I drink piss and everything?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, Rob, you remember, right?
Yes. How do you not remember?
I don't remember that.
He said something about if the 49ers don't win the Super Bowl, he's going to drink a cup of piss.
Me, I said that.
The best part is that Joe didn't know this email was coming. This guy clearly is talking about Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe told a story about licking his wife's asshole in a dumpster this week. The timing is fucking perfect.
10 minutes ago.
How amazing.
But he called me Chris.
But he called him Chris. It's the only flaw in
that
this.
really threw me off. Fuck.
Steve's like, no, I don't remember you saying
Yeah, I'm
that.
an idiot.
When did you say that, Chris?
Yeah.
Woo.
I licked the pussy and the ass.
Good for you.
Good for her.
Well, she'll be the judge of that.
She seemed happy.
Oh, I can't wait for this next
She
one.
walked out of that dumpster feeling like $1 million.
Woo.
Please get to the next one.
Matt Matterson. Injury thoughts.
Oh, God.
I only recorded my thoughts because I have more to say. Does anyone want to hear a short story that I wrote being read out by Joe?
Does anyone not?
I mean, whatever my options are, whether I gotta read it
Whatever.
or you
Yes.
read it.
The answer is yes.
Just get the information to us.
Yes to all.
Whatever it takes.
Yes to all options.
Whatever. Let's
I'm
hear
just
what.
going to express my thoughts and opinions on the recent injuries. More on the Seahawks game. First off, Ronald Blair torn ACL. We've seen it happen on the offense last year. It's back for the defensive side. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, Buckner and Armstead wind up being on the outside. One of them. We've seen what Solomon Thomas does on the outside, and he plays better on the inside. Look at last season. Steve knows what I'm talking about. Groin injury for DJ Jones doesn't bug me as much. He did make a nice sack against Wilson in the first quarter of the game. But he knocked down the center for Seattle just to get the QB in his line of sight. I mean, he was a bulldozer against the center. Joe Staley, hopefully no injury on his fingers. We need him back. We want him back on this team.
There's so many emails.
Robbie Gould, I made a mistake. Gold, I mean the kicker. I thought quad injury would be lasting a little bit longer, but for a kicker for in the football, I'm wrong. I seen it with basketball players, so that's why I made that guess. Kittle, I hope he comes back against the Cardinals. If not, the Packers. Witherspoon is back in practice. We'll see if he starts against the Cardinals. Sanders, hopefully he comes back as soon as possible. Definitely because he and Kittle are probably the only wide receivers. Maybe Samuel has been doing a little bit better, but that was just one game. We'll see against the Cardinals. Breida is day. We'll see what happens. That said, as much as I'm going to say, I am out, really.
So, Gustavo Sanchez.
Thanks,
So, does this mean I should stop doing the injury report at the beginning of episode 1 every single week? Because we know we're going to get it at the back end of episode 2.
That's phenomenal. Gustavo Sanchez has this to say. Drop the ball. What a nail biter. That was a crazy game of football full of ups and downs. The injuries are going to hurt, though. As soon as Sanders went out with whatever it was that happened with the ribs, we immediately felt the impact on offense. Staley and McGlinchey got worked by Clowney, and I did not see that coming. That man was a wrecking ball. The dropped and tipped balls were driving me crazy. Defense did as well as we could have hoped and forced turnovers to try and put us in a position to win, but we could not capitalize them like Seattle did. And fucking McLaughlin kicking that ball right down the middle of the tunnel. Fuck it on to next week against the Cards. Offensive beast of the week. Jimmy G for putting the passes where they needed to be, but not getting caught.
By either team.
And defensive beast of the week, yeah. Could go to any number of players. Jacquezie for the strip in the end zone. Steady Freddy for the punch fumble. Dre Greenlaw for coming in hot all game and picking off Wilson. Until next week, cunts, stay faithful, my friends, as I drink a XX beer.
Another play that we overlooked. God, this is such a crazy game, and we're still talking about it at the end of episode 2. The open field tackle by Ronald Blair on Russell Wilson, where he tore his ACL.
Yeah, that was
He
nice.
laid out for that one.
Yeah.
What a fucking play.
All right, Gustavo Sanchez, round 2. More well-rounded. Rob, to my email last week about being well-rounded in my opinion, the team we have now is better than the Super Bowl team. Can't beat Willis and Bowman in the middle, but our D-line is better and faster. Our wide receivers are about the same, a number one surrounded by mediocrity. Safety are better. DB are better. Run game is different, where with Gore it was power running. We are more focused on catching backs. Starting tight end is better. Jimmy G over Cap, Shanahan over Harbaugh on play calls and play scheme. I take Fangio over Salah. O-line is in the same ballpark. Our depth, I think, is where the difference is the biggest. The next man up this year has been outstanding.
It is an interesting way to look at it, to compare and contrast and break down every single position versus right now versus the 2012 team. It's an interesting exercise because you find quite a few spots where we're stronger today than we were in 2012.
Yeah.
Very interesting exercise.
All right.
Chad
Schroeder says, dismay, undefeated, no more. Hey, Gold-Blooded Podcast.
Chad Schumacher.
Yeah, whatever. Come on.
Chad Schoolhouse.
It's close enough.
Chad
We get a split fucking hair.
Sherman.
Come on.
Schroeder. My son's at the reading age, like he's sounding words out. And one of the things his teacher said that we noticed too is he guesses. So he'll start to sound it out. He'll be like, Schroeder. Because it starts with something that looks like it could end with Schroeder. And that made me think of that. Because like I'll go, where do you see a D in that word? Just to like reground him and make him rethink.
Oh, there is no D.
No, there's definitely not a D. That's why Schroeder's funny, Joe.
And that's why you need to relive your childhood at Rob's house.
No. Then I'd probably get hit.
The hell?
Hey, Gold-Blooded Podcast.
Pete's on.
That can't be good.
Dismay, the title. Dismay, undefeated, no more. Hey, Gold-Blooded Podcast. Assumptions aside, the disappointment is felt throughout the faithful nationwide. Absolutely gut-wrenching watching our Niners lose that game via missed field goal and giving the ball back to the midget Russell Wilson for his third opportunity in overtime. I'm almost certain that Seattle's lazy-eyed, curly-haired douchebag has sold his soul to Satan for the luck and evasiveness he seems to possess in winning all these game-ending drives. The game started out well with the 10-0 lead in the first quarter, but went downhill for a while, and then some dynamic, exhilarating events leading up to a climatic and depressing ending. I'm sure by the time you guys read this, Steve will have already given his synopsis of Jimmy G's pros and cons of the game. Good old Jimmy Horsecock, as Joe calls him, seemed to be a bit off on his performance Monday night. While you can't fault the guy for his receiver's butterfingers causing interception, he was certainly rattled by how do you say that? Jadavian. There you go. I didn't want to pronounce it that wrong. Clowney.
Now he gets self-conscious.
Yeah, all game, which did not cause him...
I think it's Javelin.
Javelin Clowney. All game, which did not cause him to make a few stupid throws that were almost picked off. Clowney and fat bastard Poona Ford made Joe Staley and Mike McGlinchey look pathetic. Maybe our starting tackles needed another week off. A gimpy George Kittle would have helped seal a division win that we so badly needed. The other thing that makes this loss so horrible is the numerous casualties they incurred throughout the game. More guys on IR are missing time moving forward. It absolutely compounds the grief. Let the loss serve as a hard lesson learned and hope that they take the aggression out on the Arizona Cardinals in a statement game prior to facing the Green Bay Slackers. If there's any quarterback that I love watching get their ass kicked, it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm hoping to see Nick Bosa tee off on Rodgers all game. Hopefully that locker room is as tight as the players tell the press and that they get the mistakes cleaned up. Have the next man up in each position do their jobs and finish the tough schedule strong. Regards, Chad, 49er or faithful 49er fan from Wisconsin. Thanks, Chad Schroeder. Wendy Curran.
Mama Curran.
Mama C. Sorry to vent, but Booger McFarland can go fucking die somewhere. Oh, she's the best. All the guy does is shit on Jimmy. He did the same thing in the Cleveland game. I was waiting for Wilson to walk on fucking water the way McFarland was talking about him. Jesus, I thought no one could be worse than Gruden in that booth, but I was wrong. All right.
Ooh, Wendy, I gotta disagree. Gruden in the booth was fire.
Well,
I loved Gruden in the booth.
She didn't like him. All right.
See, now next week we can't go by my email as the breaking point.
Last minute one, huh?
Sir.
Last hour.
After we started recording, yeah. It's from our good friend Ricardo Aguilera. Seattle shit sandwich.
Where do you see an L? That's how I would... That's how I would coach a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and then
is there an L in there?
If it was like my childhood, I'd get punched. I'll never forget this. I will never forget this moment for the rest of my life.
Get ready. This is going to turn into a therapy session real fast, Steve.
Yeah.
Just go.
I know. We were doing so in my household growing up, my father only helped with homework when it was math for whatever reason, because my father can do math for whatever it's worth. My father can't read. He's nearly fucking
illiterate.
Yeah, but he
the irony of that is not lost on me.
So, like, growing up, like, my mother would read, and my father just did the bills, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how shit was. So, I was having a tough time with doing some math. And I don't remember what it was, but at one point, it was a long equation, but at one point in the equation, there was a simple part of the equation. It was like 7 minus 4 is 3, right? But I was getting it wrong, and I was coming up with a different number. Let's say I was coming up with 5, and I just kept coming up with the wrong number. And instead of my father being like, no, what you're not understanding is, in an understanding fashion, he hit me. He got so frustrated, he fucking struck me. He was yelling at me, are you fucking stupid? 4 minus 7 is 3, you stupid fuck. And, hit me. Straight up hit me. So, yeah. That's why I don't want to go back to Rob's house to learn how to read.
I got a question.
What?
How's your math today?
Spot on. I'm pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not saying
I hear you.
I condone hitting children.
I hear you.
But we've seen you pronounce Aguirre as Aguilera. We've seen you pronounce showing her as Schroeder.
Yeah.
And your math is spot on. And you were never beat for your reading, and you were beat for your math. I'm just...
Yeah, but I do read more.
I'm just putting it out there.
I hear you. No, I think one thing you don't... I process words that when I read them, they all make fucking sense. I understand what words mean. I just coming back out again is where the problem happens. You know what I mean? Like after it gets processed.
Maybe one good fucking punch in the head, you would have been all right though.
Maybe. All right, let's see what Aguilera's got to say here. Well, boys, that's the first loss of the season. I can't say that I'm surprised. I'm definitely pissed that it came from those cunty pigeons. Offensive Beast of the Week, Jimmy G. I'm tired of the cunts that are saying he's not the answer. Too many bobbled passes that almost became intercepted. Not his fault. Other than the fumbles, he played great. Defensive Beast of the Week, DeForest Buckner for the defensive touchdown and making Wilson his prison bitch. Blame game. Every wide receiver that couldn't catch a ball. Whatever. It's on to Arizona. 34-17 Niners. Woo!
With that said, we are out. Really?